And as you can see, our city's working well. We've got good connections. We've got people moving in. We've got some industry chugging over here. Hey there, everyone. It's Mouse Plays, and welcome to a new series. In this series, I'm going to be teaching you how the basics of Cities Skylines works. In this episode, we're mainly going to be focusing on just getting your base city set up, including utilities and road situations. But anyways, let's get straight into it. So first, what you're going to want to do is come down here and click on the roads section. Now you'll see you'll only have one road unlocked in the beginning, and that's the 2-lane road. Now we don't want just the 2-lane road, so you're going to come down, just build a small section, and then you'll immediately unlock tons of other. And you can see as soon as we place down that one road, we unlocked roads, zoning, which allows us to zone areas, water, which we'll go through in a second, and power. Now all these are essential to starting your city. So first we're going to start off with roads. What roads allow you to do is basically get goods and services and people moved around the city using their own personal transportation. There is public transportation in this game, but that will be a separate episode. So basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to see here that we have highway entrance on 2 sides. Now I'm going to use this side as it has more land to expand on, and then we'll use this in another area, which I'll talk about in another episode. But basically what you're going to want to do is connect your highway to your town. It's not really a city yet. So basically you're going to come in here and you're going to build any road you want, but I would prefer a one-way road. So I'm just going to build this road out a bit, make sure it's lined up and perfect, just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and use the 2-lane road to connect these. Now, basically, all you have right now is if someone were to come in from the highway, they would just turn around and go back out. But that's not what we want. We want to expand on this so that we can build housing and commercial areas. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build ourselves some residential areas. So I'm going to build myself a road off from here. And we're going to follow these lines, these little lines you see here, and make sure our angle is 90 degrees. I'm going to do 4 lines. And now I'm going to switch to the dirt road, because you can see the dirt road is $25 per cell, while the main paved road is $50 per cell. So you want to switch to the dirt road in the beginning so you can get the most out of your area. We're just going to go 1 section forward. And then we're going to build it sideways to 3, and just like that. I'm going to do the same on the other side as well. So now you can see when I place the roads, I get these blocks, sort of. This is where zoning comes in. So I'm going to grab my zoning. You can see when I click on zoning, I can pick between low density residential, low density commercial, and industrial. The other ones will unlock later, and we'll do that in a later episode. But you can see here that I can place these basically anywhere, as long as there's these sections next to the road. So for example, I'm going to put residential in these 2 blocks, and then I'm going to put some commercial in the outer edges, but we're going to have to change something. So if you see, if I fill here, this will put the commercial on this road, which I don't want to happen because this is our road for connecting. So I'm going to turn on the marquee, and this will allow me to make it so that the commercial is only in this area. Instead, if I was in fill, it would fill this whole section pretty much, unless it's long. So I'm going to use marquee to mark out a little section. And then over here, I'm probably going to want to extend this road this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zone commercial 4 blocks on each side here, but leaving enough space for the road to go through in the future. And then I'll also add residential ending up top. But I'm going to add it up to here, over here, because I'm not going to be expanding this way because of the highway. So we're just going to add on the residential like this, just so that it doesn't interfere with the road. We want to get as much residential out of this as we can before we run out. Now here, I'm actually going to do the same thing, because you can see that we have this block section. That's all we can build in. But in the future, we'll be able to buy more sections as we unlock milestones, which is how each of these episodes is going to go. We're going to go buy milestone. That's how each of the tutorials will be. Eventually, each milestone will unlock a new tile. And then we'll go through that and we will add more onto it. So you can see as of now, we have some residential and we have some commercial. But now there's one more we need to focus on. And what we haven't focused on yet is we haven't focused on industrial. I can see there is a little bit of an angle in this. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep with that, but we're going to go 4 again this time. And as you can see, I made a mistake. I used the dirt road here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the 2-lane road and press upgrade road. And then I can upgrade the road for the cost it would have taken to upgrade the rest. And now, the reason I'm putting industrial here and not, say, over here is because industrial needs to connect to your residential areas so that they can get workers. If they can't get workers from here to the industrial, if it was over here, the workers would have to go on the highway all the way around here to here, and they wouldn't want to do that. So we're just going to focus on putting industrial here, and in the future, we'll move the industrial over there. So I'm just going to quickly do my 3 blocks like we did before. You can see there, it's a little off, so I'm just going to delete that. And then I'll redo it here. And then I will mark my areas for industrial. I can use marquee, or I can use fill. So you can see just like that, we have zoned industrial and residential and commercial. Now, if we were to just unpause now and allow people to move in, they would be very mad because we don't have any power or water in the city. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to grab the water. We're going to click water in the bottom and we'll start here. So water is one of the essential utilities in this game. So without water, your citizens will get very mad, and then eventually you'll just get abandoned buildings because no one wants to live there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put down this water here. And as you can see, there's a little boundary around it. And that boundary is the radius of what businesses it will attach to. And this is important because this radius allows the businesses to not have water pipes directly under them, and it lets you save money. So my favorite thing to do with my city basically layout is to do a every other road situation. So there will be a little bit of overlap in this middle road, but it's basically the most efficient way to use it. And it also allows you to not connect the bottom, and it'll still work for this area. So I'm just going to do the same over here by just connecting the road a little bit. So now we have water pipes covering our whole area. So now that we've placed the water pipes, we're going to come down to the town. And basically, we are going to select the water pumping station. Now you can either use the water pumping station or the water tower to get water. I personally prefer the water pumping station, but you can also do the water tower in the beginning, and it requires you to use less power lines. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use the water tower and put it right in the middle here, making sure we're not going to get in pollution from the industrial area, because that's something you have to worry about. This will also allow us to have power in the area. So we'll just do that and connect here, and then we will worry about power later. But now we need somewhere for the sewage to go. And that's where the water drain pipe comes in. So we're going to put the water drain pipe at the end of the flow. So you can see here, the flow of the water using the arrows comes from right to left. And that means sewage will flow downstream. It'll flow from right to left. And that's important because if you put your water pumping stations in the line of your sewage, your citizens will get sick and die. So you want to put your sewage pipe basically on the edge of the map so that it pollutes the least amount of water possible and just goes out to sea. And then you'll just grab this, and then you'll take your pipes and connect it somewhere. We'll just connect it there. And now for the final part of this episode right here, power. Now, for in the beginning, you have two options for power. You have wind turbines and you have coal power plants. Now, as you can see, coal power plants make a lot more than wind turbines, and wind turbines depend on the wind speed. If I click on the wind turbine, you can see that this is not really the greatest map for the wind turbine. There's a little bit of area out here where it'll be maxed, but basically if I were to put it closer, it's only getting like 3, 4, maybe 6 megawatts. But the coal power plant doesn't matter what the area is. We're just going to make sure that it is out of the way. So we're going to put it over here, and then you can see that it creates this little circle around itself, and that's the power boundary. And the way you can extend this is with the power line. So I'm going to take this, drag the power over here across the highway so it connects here, and then I'll take a little bit to power the water pipe. But then we're going to take this power all the way back along here, and we're going to take it down to the water pumping, the water drain pipe, because that requires power as well. So with this, we're pretty much done. I'm going to de-zone this because then this will get pollution from the industrial area. But now we're just about ready, and now we're going to go ahead, either press space or press the pause button, and we're going to start the game. And now that we've set up a little area, you'll see that people will start moving into here. Here's our first citizen. They are the Hickory residents, and you can get tons of information from them, like the age group of the children and the teens and all the people in the house. You can see the level up, what level the building is, and then you can see the education level. And you can see almost instantly tons of people are moving in because our power plant's working like normal, our water tower is working like normal, and our water drain pipe is working like normal. So we're just gonna wait here. I'm going to turn up the time, speed it up a bit with these arrows right here. It says accelerate time. I'm gonna click it to make it the max acceleration, just so we can start to get some people moved in. We also have our first bit of commercial, and I'll tell you how many jobs are available, what the education level of the workers are, and everything else. Now you can see we don't have any industrial right now, but that's because really we just got people moving in. But now, because we have workers in the city, the industrial buildings will start to get created, and people will start working there. So commercial can be less educated people, but there can be some educated and highly educated people. But industry is pretty much just uneducated people. But as you can see, as we move, people are start to bring their cars in. They'll start to move in. And if you can see here, so right now we have low demand for residential, but that is climbing. We have no demand for commercial and low demand for industry. And then when there's low demand, they'll usually just build another area, or they will work on getting themselves a new area, and they'll start to get mad at you to build a new area. So you can see right now, the residential demand is slowly increasing. So basically with this, we're just waiting for our milestone, and I'll show you here. Here's our next milestone at 460, and then we'll get all this stuff, which we'll discuss in the next video. So we're just about there. It's at 460, which will upgrade. And as you can see, our city's working well. We've got good connections. We've got people moving in. We've got some industry chugging over here. But you can see traffic flow. You can see traffic's flowing really well, 94% in the city. This can get down to single digits if you've got really bad traffic. But we're just about to hit that milestone. You can see 2 away, and there we go. We've hit Little Hamlet, which we've unlocked all these features, which we'll go over in the next video. But anyways, I'm Mouse Plays. It's been magical, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.